Hello, everybody. Hello, WikiTreeers. Hello, non-WikiTreeers. Hello, all across the world. I'm sure we have people who it's morning time, who it's afternoon, evening, maybe it's the middle of the night. Who knows? But hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope everybody's doing well today.
They're doing
We
good.
have a smaller crowd this live cast, as you can, not as many skins filled up. So we have, as usual, me and Aowen, team members on WikiTree. Then we have Mindy over there. Oh, I can't see my finger. Mindy over there, who's our WikiTree challenge coordinator. Then we have Lucy down there, who is our team captain for Judy's week. And then we have Judy Russell. We're finishing up her week today, right now. It's pretty much over.
It's happening.
It's happening. So just for those of you who maybe aren't WikiTreeers, what is WikiTree?
I would love to answer that. So WikiTree is a community of genealogists who are working together on a single family tree. Unlike a lot of other genealogy sites where you build your tree over here and I build my tree over here, and we never really talk to each other despite sharing several deep ancestors, on WikiTree, when we get to a common ancestor, we get to work together to find information, share sources, and resolve discrepancies. So in other words, we collaborate to grow an accurate single family tree that connects all of us. And the best part is 100% free.
Free. And then for those of you...
We don't charge for anything.
No, nothing. Just your time, I guess.
Yeah, you donate your time.
But it's free. And then the WikiTree Challenge, another step. The WikiTree Challenge is our year-long event where each week we take on a different genealogy guest star and make their tree more accurate on WikiTree than it is anywhere else. For instance, this week we're working on Judy. Well, we finished Judy's last week. And then this is part of our year-long... This is part of our year of accuracy where our goal is to make WikiTree more accurate, make connections, and make friends. Like Judy. Judy is now our friend.
She's our friend.
Best friend. So as I guess we will just move on. That's WikiTree and the WikiTree Challenge, if you guys didn't know. And
now you do.
Now you do. The more you know. So I guess we will move on to, I guess we'll kind of just dive in to start talking about what we found for Judy, but we wanted to begin with, hold on. We're just talk about Judy's tree in general.
I think real quick before that,
we're going to do MVP. I'm going to do MVP, but whatever order you want to do it in. Nice and jazzy and bright there. Our most valuable participant or player was Nanette Azudi. She was rocking this challenge. We really appreciate all the hours that you put in. Nanette, it was awesome. And
Very
then
good.
we also have our top 5. Nanette, of course, was on the top there. Ian Speed, Frank Yotzik, Paul Gierzuski, and Chris Ferriello. We also have a special mention to Dieter Lorenz. He actually wasn't in the competition signed up. He's one of our experts we've used for translations, but he got so interested and excited, he joined in and was working on profiles and stuff this week. So yay, Dieter, thank you very much. Now, we do have a point system. We give points for each profile that is a direct ancestor or their nuclear relative that is created. And then we give 10 points if you break a brick wall down. Now, Judy already knew that her research is so impressive, there was a good chance we wouldn't have any brick walls broken down. But as a teaser, I can tell you we did give out one 10-point bonus. So you'll have to keep watching to find out who got that and where. Now, for the individual members that I just mentioned that were top 5, Nanette's been with us since 2015. She's part of several projects: Data Doctors, Italy, Military and War, presidents in 1776. Frank Yatsik has been a WikiTreeer actually since just last year. He's fairly new. It's impressive that he's picked up as quickly as he can. He is a German researcher, and he was brought in by a fellow member, by Hillary Gadsby. Paul Gierszewski, he's been with us since 2015. His projects are profile improvements and data doctors. We have a lot of data doctors that like to do this. Ian Speed, which you guys have met in a previous LiveCast, has been a WikiTreeer since 2017. For projects, he's part of the England project, our ever important mentor project, and a founder of the Accessibility Angels, one of our newer projects. And then last but not least, Chris Ferriello has been with WikiTree since 2017. He is an ambassador, spreads the wiki love. He's a team leader and a project coordinator. He is crucial to the Italy project. There's a lot of Chris going on that helps support that project and keeps it going. And he's involved in many, many other projects.
Okay, thank you to all of our top contributors for Judy's week. They did such a good job,
guys.
I guess we will start to go into maybe the details of what we found.
Lucy, do you want to start or do you want me to?
I think you should.
Now, this is the start of Judy's story. Of course, Judy and the expected father and mother, yes, you still have them, even though we didn't have to research them. Our part of your story starts out on those 8 great-grandparents. So the lines that you see all the way to the right, that's where our researchers and team members started out at. And then, yes, this was Lucy's little bit of creativity. She wanted to warn you. Now, you did say to read your blog and make sure we kept our research aligned with yours. But as we read through it, and trust me, we were all reading it. We were captivated. You have just some really amazing articles in those. Definitely not a chore. But she did want to warn you that traipsing down that trail, there are more Johann Christophs than even you talked about. So
I can't say I'm shocked. No,
now, Lucy, you did say you thought there were 5, right?
At least 5 generations I found.
Wow. That doesn't
but I don't know
surprise
who
me.
goes with who.
So, okay, on this one, on Johann Christoph, is that Grommuller?
Grommuller, yeah.
Okay. We didn't find any new information on Johann. He was born in 1823. Now, I know you had some that were in Rudersdorf, some not in Rudersdorf, but for these, the records we found, that's where this particular ancestor was. We had one of our fabulous team members had a power outage, and she was herding some very active young children and felt bad she couldn't research. So she took the time and did this sketch for you. This is where he was married at and where his children were all baptized, was in this church in Rudersdorf. So just a little side benefit of having that extra collaboration and team members working on it. We thought you would enjoy that.
That's gorgeous.
Elaine Wetherall.
Wetherall.
She drew that little photo. How cute.
That is truly gorgeous.
Yes, we can look at her. Oh no, what did I just do? Click something. Johann Christoph's profile, and then we even added the picture is linked to his on his profile. So if you wanted that, you're able to download it.
Oh, I will want it for sure.
Okay, and then on Johann Friedrich, now we had several people that were working just steadily around the clock on this. And you can see in our changes log, that's another nice thing about WikiTree, is that, you can see what was done by who on what day. So this is looking at Friedrich's changes log, just a small portion of it. And you can see where I went in, Frank went in, Paul went in, Dieter was in there several times. There was somebody else that went in and did little corrections. We all worked together, and we've actually, gotten pretty good. Anybody that's been on WikiTree long enough, we've gotten pretty good at that. We work with each other. If somebody's a little stronger at doing this part of the profile, I let them do it. If we need help, we have somebody else jump in and do formatting or whatever needs to be done. At one point now, we had 9 children for him. And this was kind of a hot topic for a little bit within our Discord channel where we communicate with each other while we're working. Because one of the records, as I'm sure you've seen, of the daughters said that she was the 4th child first surviving. And so I took that to mean 3 children had not made it. And I calculated and added those into the list of children. When one of the other researchers went in, they looked at the towns that were around that, and they found records where they think those children actually did live. They just weren't baptized in that same church as the rest of the family members. So, breadcrumbs for you. It's something to keep in mind.
That's true.
They have 8 children now, so that's still a lot. That's still a busy family.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Dieter was working on this profile a lot too. I guess you mentioned that, but yeah, our German researcher.
That'll be really helpful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime. And then we have Sophia, and you've already told us, and especially in your blogs, it's heartbreaking some of the times, and you read about the women that have lost so many of the children, and times were harder back then. Medical care wasn't what it is now. Support wasn't what it is now, and here Sophia Schumann was another one of those incredibly strong women, because she had to be. Her father died before she had even married. Her husband died and left her with young children. And so she had to be the one that kept the family strong and kept them together. And we saw no evidence that those children went to other family members. They stayed with Sophia. So it was another one of those, touching moments. The Friedrich, not sure how to say that one, Traugott, he died before his 14th birthday. And I know you had that name on your tree, so you knew that already. But it just kind of lends itself. Here's somebody that's already lost so many people around her. And then he got up to the age of 14 and something tragic happened, and she just kept on with the family. So hats off to her. Incredibly brave woman.
You almost think it's harder at that point. If you lose them as an infant, that's one thing. But when you think you're going to raise them all the way and then lose them at that point, that's got to be tough.
Yeah.
And you'd have so many memories at that point. Everywhere you looked, there'd be, the time we went to that park with, there was this dish that he loved to eat as breakfast. There just would be so many times in your life you would cross those memories. Now, this was one that Lucy had worked on with her team. And they researched and debated. And once again, we have the post in the G2G, which I'm sure you've at least peeked at or did when we started. You're very welcome to read through and get to the end of it. But, while we're working on the profiles and helping each other, we're working out a Discord, and they just went, for days solid on this line and could not get anything set in stone, unfortunately. But you got to give them an A for effort.
Absolutely. That's a tough line to work on.
Now, we did find a few new details here for Heinrich. We found that his birthplace was confirmed as being in Reistead, and I saw that you had what probably was maybe a transcription error that you had seen somewhere. You had a question mark by it on the primary tree, but we did find records that confirmed that was definitely his birthplace. Sure. And where there was only 1 child listed when we started working on him, and we found a total of 4 children. So we wanted to welcome some new people to your family. And that would be Johann Wilhelm Eller Huneke. Is it Huneke or Huneke?
I think it's probably Haneke. I think they probably don't pronounce the umlaut that much.
Yeah.
Because it goes both ways in the records, with and without the umlaut.
I have a problem with the German names. I try, but
Yeah.
they never read like, they never read like they're supposed to sound. And then the other children were, of course, Anna Katharina and Karl Heinrich. Heinrich himself died on the 8th of November, 1843 in Bremen. He was about 66 years old and was listed as a laborer by trade.
Good to have those siblings to chase.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what you're going to find. Those can be valuable.
Absolutely.
Look at the fan club.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Martin.
Judy says, "Oh, Marty."
Well, he was actually called Gilbert.
Oh, okay.
Because his grandfather was Martin.
So we should probably change his preferred name on WikiTree.
It does both ways. He was also called MG.
Oh, okay.
I would
That's
leave
pretty
it.
cool. And so you already know that we didn't get any spectacular new finds, but that's one of the other things we do. Like I kind of hinted at earlier, is everybody has different strengths. So, the people that you saw, the data doctors that are working, those are people that just work on suggestions, which could be errors, or they just could be things you need to look at. We had a number of people that went through and cleared up a lot of the mistakes that we had on WikiTree. So getting us closer to our goal of accuracy and improving your branches.
Terrific.
And, and they had some fun doing so.
Good.
It looks like they added some, like the death certificate here and the directories to his profile as well.
Excellent.
Yes, we tried not to do the, this person got married in 1843 because Judy said so.
Yep.
So we actually did our own research and tried to see how much we could come up with on our own for all of these lines.
Well, the other thing
I think the team did some pretty incredible work.
The other thing that I really want to emphasize, and this is true of all of us, I can be wrong. I made every beginner mistake there is to make when I was a baby genealogist, and some of those errors have not been corrected. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have done.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like somebody in the netherworld changed the preferred name and added a nickname to his profile.
Real-time changes. That's what we do.
That's really good. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. They're listening.
We're on
in
it.
The spirit world.
We are on those errors. And then also along that line, one of the team members was feeling ambitious and started a really cool space page. So she took that engagement that had been talked about previously, where they did the engagement party at a bridge party.
Right.
And they had the bride's picture on the tally cards and the whole bit. And she created a space page, and we're going to be creating profiles for all of those people, and they'll be linked to that page. So she already has some of them done. I thought it was pretty cool.
That's really exciting.
Is that space page linked to the profile that we can, or
it should be on your list?
It wasn't on my list of links, but I feel like we should probably it's probably listed somewhere in here.
There are a lot of links.
Yes, there are. We have all these
GPG.
inline references for each little fact. So,
Hey,
And
Sarah,
we did leave a lot of research notes.
mm-hmm.
Sarah, just really quick for people who might not know, would you explain what a space page is?
Yeah, so a space
show
page.
it.
So on WikiTree, we are able not only to create profile pages such as what you see, but you're able to create a page where you can put whatever kind of information you want. So like they were talking about, we have, I wish I link, but basically like if you wanted to collect a whole bunch of information about a certain, like for one example, a one place study, you can create a one place study and use a free space page to gather a whole bunch of information about that person and maybe put links to everybody who lived there, or the census records. So it's not just about creating profiles, but you can also create pages for whatever other kind of information that you want. So that's a free space page. So you can kind of have the freedom to add whatever different information, not just about people.
That could be done then for that church in Rudersdorf.
Right.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
And we have a lot of people that do things like that. They'll take a group or a club or a church or something and start building that so that you can look and see everybody that was involved with whatever the event was. Really cool way to link people and also to research and know more about the families.
That's really exciting.
Mm-hmm. And this was, if you see on the slide page, this is kind of a snippet of what's on the free space page.
Okay.
They have who attended and they linked each. They will eventually have links to every single person, but then it's like kind of collects things in a nice way.
That's really
Organization.
Nice.
Organization.
Okay, and this one, of course, was the Robertsons. So they were not able to find out much on these. Now, these were those where they were looking at the slaves to see, right, that you had said you wanted to know more about. And they did gather some information on them. Lucy, did you have anything specific you wanted to share on those?
Well, the daughter Mary did get married, but then they appeared on the 1880 census, and that's the last we could find. And Anna was listed on there as disabled, but it could be she was lame or bedridden, it didn't say. But I couldn't find them anywhere. I searched the whole country, and I tried to search the husband. I couldn't find anything on him except a couple of census records.
But then the research will be ongoing on that. Now we have a U.S. Black History project, and so they've taken an interest in that also, and they're going to be doing further research on that.
Terrific, great, thank you.
What a great picture.
Isn't that wonderful?
That is.
I love that one, Eula Lee. I mean, you can just see so much character in that face. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
She didn't, once again, provide us a chance to get new information, but it was another place where we could go ahead and focus on getting rid of some of the inaccuracies that we saw, as this is one of our main, tenets of the challenge and of the year, to be more accurate. I think it was time well spent.
I love it. My whole reason for saying yes was because you guys were focusing on accuracy. And if the whole notion of a one world tree is really going to succeed, it's going to have to be with verification and accuracy.
Absolutely.
So I'm delighted. I'm thrilled with what you guys are doing.
Good. Oh, we didn't have her. I was going to show we did have a free space page for all of our information that we collected for Judy. Mm-hmm. So just an example of a free space page before we move on. So
wow.
They did a really good job. So it's like a collection of everything before they started. So information shared by Judy, photos, problems, interesting finds, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. So example of a free space page. And this specifically for Judy.
Sounds great.
And this is public, so everybody can access this. And then I think our last one, Mindy, is
do we get a drum roll? Is it time for a drum roll?
Okay, I'm ready.
It's a boy. So our one brick wall that we broke down for you, Judy, was for Johanna Sophia Schumann Geisler. That's Freddie Geisler's wife. Her father's name was Elias. He was a saddler by trade, most likely died before 1806. So unfortunately, we couldn't find a death record for him because they're not available online before 1799 in Cana.
Right. Yeah, the German records from that part of Germany are very slow getting online. That's great.
Yeah, and I noticed in some of the collections, like you look through them if you're actually paging through, and some are indexed and some aren't. So it's just kind of hit and miss what they've indexed so far.
Well, and even harder is that you're dealing with the German script.
Yes.
So it's not even like reading regular, what we've been trained to read as colonial handwriting. This is not only colonial, but German colonial.
So
All right.
someone in the comments said we found Friedrich's father as well. Was that a discovery today? See, they've been working all the way up till now.
That's great.
Yeah, so if you guys discovered anything today, I don't have it in my notes.
Make sure you add it to that free space page so we know.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, one brick wall. Yay, we found
Woo!
That is, it had the only thing you've done been to focus on correcting mistakes. That would have been enough for me. That really is what I wanted out of this challenge, and I'm delighted. I'm hopeful that
Yay!
as things go forward with that kind of an emphasis, that WikiTree can take, can really fill a need here. And
that's our
if
goal.
everybody will commit to ensuring that what gets added with verification, I think we've got a real need for this. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely.
And I agree, and like I said, we left a lot of little breadcrumbs for you and for other researchers. I know we have several people that said, "Oh, we're not leaving this tree when the weekend." So we're gonna keep working at these branches. They're too interesting.
I'll loan you any of them you want.
Judy says, "Please share my ancestors."
It's the kind of family on both sides with enough difficulty because of the German issue on one side and the southern U.S. issue on the other, with vital records being very late to get started, a Scots-Irish bent, which means that they tried not to leave records. It's a tough thing to try to trace some of these lines, so I'll take all the help I can get.
Yeah, and for some of the southern states too. I mean, you have so many counties in some of those states that are burned counties.
Absolutely.
I mean,
There's a map online from the Alabama Department of Archives and History where they hash marked the counties with records lost. It's got to be at least half of the counties of Alabama. And of course, one of the ones that had multiple records lost situations is the county where my family was located. So yeah, I'm well familiar with the difficulties of Southern research. And it's the kind of situation where you get somebody who wants to work on one of these families, I'm game. I'll work with them any way they want. I think it'd be terrific.
They would love that too.
I think everybody just did a great job. I think they looked at what my goal was and dovetailed that perfectly with what the goal was for the WikiTree challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of those put together, I won't say you've got me completely converted,
but we're winning you over.
You've got to just keep pulling a little
70,
bit on that rope.
75%.
Let's put it this way: I'm certainly not going to badmouth WikiTree anywhere else. You guys have done a great job. Done a really good job, and I'm very pleased.
We did have a final from the captain, Lucy.
Who's that?
And Lucy said, "I am having great fun. I don't think we found out much that Judy didn't already know, but I know we did a good job in cleaning up a bunch of mistakes. We had one German member that worked himself into a migraine, but recovered. We lost an English researcher this last week for the same thing, a migraine. We had several people that had power outages, and the server hiccup. So, not only is it the German and the Southern records, but real life kept happening out there. So and then she said, I hope Judy is happy with what we've done.
Absolutely. I think you guys did a great job. And I personally am just very appreciative. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me as part of this. And I can't wait to see what you do with everybody else all year long.
It's been great so far. We've had really great experiences with all of you that have been nice enough to come and participate. So we're excited.
Terrific. Looks good. It looks great. Good luck with everything going forward.
I guess I just wanted to show the tree. And somebody was asking about the free space page, how to get to the free space page. But I guess what free space page you're talking about. You can search the main free space page. You can on Judy's profile or in G2G. Nope, that's the wrong one. There were so many G2G posts. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. So we have this is where we put all of the G2G posts where everyone was kind of communicating along with Discord. And we have some free space pages here. See, link to free space page. And that's how we got to this one, at least.
Okay.
And then
You should add it.
I don't know. Do we have any other questions that were posed in the chat? Or Judy, do you have any questions or other comments? Or anybody have any questions or comments? Or Lucy, did you want to add anything before we?
No, the comments, people were really just listening. They thought it was pretty interesting, so they were unusually quiet. But
usually
this is tough stuff to do, and it gets to the point where you think, I've been over this a dozen times, I'm not going to see anything new. And then you see somebody else come in and see something. And I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a teaser, because I know you're going on to talk about the start of your next challenge, right? So I'll leave you with a little bit of a teaser that I did see one thing online, and I'm actually going to blog about it tomorrow. But you guys showed me that I have been making a mistake with respect to one of my sources for a long time.
Wow.
So it's now going to be corrected, and I'm going to talk about it because one of your people said he couldn't find something that he should have been able to find. And I figured out why. And it's my mistake. So
wow.
Looking forward to that.
That'll be great.
Yeah. And speaking of next week, we actually, due to extenuating circumstances, we don't have a genealogy guest star for this coming week. It'll be a rest week, so our WikiTreeers who've been hard at work can take a break. I know some of them just don't really sleep. So we won't have a...
I thank you for challenging us. Thank you for all the work that you did on my behalf. So thank you all. You did a great job.
We appreciate you letting us look at your tree and taking a chance on us. I feel like I could have tied a song into that.
I almost did.
Probably not without a copyright violation.
Probably not.
Don't want to do that.
No. Yes, so we thank you, Lucy, for being such a great team captain this week and leading our team members to make Judy's tree the most accurate it can be. And we got down one brick wall, right? Let's look at the stats really quick. We didn't actually look at our stats page. So at least on how many points total was it? It was, I can't see with this screen, but 143 total points.
143.
Nice.
I hope that's good.
That is good.
Terrific. Well, I'm delighted.
Yeah, and it was Frank Yatsik who actually got the bounty point, who found that new ancestor of yours.
Terrific. Chasing those Cana people. I wish you luck on that. Those are
Yeah,
records I couldn't even read.
Yeah, Frank was actually brought on. They were like, you need to work on Judy's tree, so you should be on WikiTree.
Sounds good to me. I am so always delighted to be used as a bad example. Something for people to have to struggle with.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't even showing. Oops, I thought I was showing this the whole time, but I wasn't.
Now you are.
Now I am. So it looks like people got. Nanette was the MVP, but now it doesn't look like so anymore.
No, she is.
Oh,
She is. We don't count.
because there's Lucy and Mindy at the top.
They're the team. They're team captains though, and a challenge coordinator. So
they don't count. Sorry,
It doesn't count.
Well, you count a lot to me. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Judy.
they count and get points in other ways.
There you go.
But we had a whole bunch of people participating. We almost had 2,000 total contributions to your tree, like edits and different changes here and there. And that doesn't count all the free space page edits. That doesn't even count that.
That's great. That's terrific.
Mm-hmm.
I'm. All I can say is thank you again. Great job, everybody. I've got a lot to look at and play with.
Would you say you would give us an A prior to checking everything? A?
Absolutely A for effort. I mean, and the fact that you were candid enough to say that you had not made a lot of new discoveries. I would have been surprised if you had. And I would have been skeptical, more than skeptical if you had. And the fact that you were willing to say that your focus was on accuracy makes me feel better about the whole thing. So I'm really pleased. I'm pleased with the way that it was handled. I'm pleased with the emphasis on accuracy. At least an A for effort. And the gentleman, I believe it was, who was working on my second great-grandmother, and Lewis Kessler says, WikiTree challenge for more publicity. Read the blog tomorrow, Lewis. Yes, you are getting a thing on the blog tomorrow, because that's why it came up. I would not have noticed this. It's something I literally didn't see at all. But the gentleman who left the note on my second great-grandmother, who is Martha Louisa Baker Cottrell, on her obituary, he's got a point, and I made a mistake. And he did a nice job in pointing that out. So that's the kind of thing that when it's done right, instead of just saying, well, she must be right about what she said. No, I was wrong. There's a reason why I was wrong, and I'm not going to knock myself too hard for it. But
wait till tomorrow.
Wait till tomorrow.
We're excited to read it.
There you go.
We will definitely make sure we share it with the WikiTree community as well.
Please do, because it really does point out how, what's that word again? Collaboration.
Exactly.
Can point people in the right direction.
Exactly.
Always helps with fresh eyes.
Indeed, it does.
So again, we thank you, Judy, so much. I know everybody had a blast working on your tree. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, everybody who is watching, and everybody who will be watching in the future that maybe is not live. Thank you as well. And just it was great. Like we said, we don't have anybody for this week, but still to stay tuned for next week. We have our next genealogy guest star, Thomas McKenty, will be next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we still have our Saturday live cast at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, where we just kind of recap the week, kind of talk about the challenge a little bit, and any updates about WikiTree Saturday at 10 a.m. We do that. And people are going to blog about WikiTree. Just do it. Blog about it. Tweet about it.
That's actually Ellen Thompson Jennings. She's got the Shop the Hound site. She's our WikiTree guest in week 13. So,
week 13. Can't wait for that.
Again.
We're on week what?
This is week 6.
6.
I think I'm
So
6.
we're on 6. 6 weeks down. However many more to go. Minus 52. 52 minus 6. However many more that is. That's how many more we have left.
It's too much math for right now.
Exactly. Sarah can never math. It is known.
Great idea, and thank you for having me as part of it.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
everyone. We will see you guys next time. And that'll be all. That's all, folks.